And join your leaders so that you can transform your church. We have leaders in this church. We have Family Life, a ministry pastor. We have pastor praise and worship team. We have pastor in charge cell. We have pastor in charge ushering. We have women's leader. We have pastor in charge mission. We have all categories of people. We have deacon in this church who looks after our welfare. We have a demonstrator who ensures that things here keep running. And now we want us to connect with these people so that we can transform our lives. So be part of ministry, be part of children's ministry, be part of youth ministry. Join any ministry right now so that our next year will actually be best. And so today I just thought let us pop in and then we see how the Lord takes us through. Last Friday we just talked about celebrating storm. In our standout meeting we were discussing this, and God gave us a very able family. Actually we were able to take us through. And this family was so amazing to us. They told us great testimonies and great things that will teach us and help us move on in case you are in problem, in case you are in trouble. Today, I just want us to do a bit of recap of what we learned, and then we get into some other things deeper about storm that comes in our lives. One, we were reminded that if it has not come, wait, it will come. If you already went through it, fine, another might come, because storm is part of life. It was there during Jesus' time. It was there when man was first created, and so storm is part of life. And then we realize we must then at the end of the day celebrate the storm. For you to celebrate storm, you must have overcome. You cannot actually celebrate inside the storm. You celebrate outside the storm. So whatever you're going through, you must ensure that at the end of the day, you climb over it. Praise the Lord. And so this is why we say you must be able to celebrate storm. You're going through something, hard time in life. Maybe you're pricked by friends, maybe opposition in your life, maybe sickness or any other thing. Can you really come at the end of the day and be able to celebrate and say, God, I thank you for allowing me to go through this, because I am now better because of the life that you made me went through. And so this is what we are talking about. Let's get to the book of Job. I just want us to just get down there and study the book of Job. And study this book. It is a book that I took a lot of time not studying, because years ago a certain pastor was preaching. Years ago, I don't remember, but many years ago in our assembly there. Then the pastor said, if you keep reading the book of Job, you will have problems in your life. So I feared reading this book. Now I learned later that it is when you read the book of Job that you can actually be more prosperous in life. Praise the Lord. And so I encourage us that we get to this book and then we start studying this book into details. But if you read Job chapter 1 verses 1 to 5, you will realize how God is praising Job. You know, he was a man blameless, a man who loved God with all his heart. Actually, I would call Job's allegiance to God as being stupid. The man loved God too much that he wouldn't even think about himself. Can you imagine? The man who wakes up in the morning, every morning he wakes up, he had 10 children. But every morning that he wakes up, he would pick one bull for each child. That is 10 bull every morning. But now do you know why he's coming to sacrifice the bull? He is just thinking that my sons could have slept the whole night, and in their heart they could have cursed God. He's just thinking. He has not seen the man sin. He has not seen the son done anything wrong. The daughter has not done anything wrong. But he just wakes up and says, maybe while they were there, they could have thought wrongly about God. So in case there is a problem with them, let me go and clear it. This is how clean the man was. This is how great this man was in the presence of the Lord. But then it comes that Satan appeared before God, as men had also taken the report. And God asked him, where are you coming from? I am from roaming around the earth, the world. Have you seen my servant Job? Satan said, I have seen him. Do you know how much he loves me and how he worshipped me? Satan said, is it for nothing? If you read from verse 6, you will find these stories, how these guys were discussing between themselves. Then they even made a plan without Job knowing what is going to take place. And so God told him, you go and destroy all those things, and then you will see what is going to happen. The Bible says that in the beginning Job had sons. But while the sons were celebrating and the daughters were celebrating in the elder son's family, storms came and they were cleared. But while also the oxen were plowing somewhere, another one came and cleared them off. Problems started coming from one level to another. He had children were cleared. He had possessions, they were cleared. He had workers, they were cleared. Everything was cleared from one level to another level. Can you imagine such kind of storm? From one problem to another problem. Have you ever sat down and think about God sitting down and somebody coming with a proposal to torment you, and then God approving? But even for Job, you see that God is not just approving a storm. God is approving a stubborn storm. A stubborn storm is a storm that doesn't give you space. From one problem, you've gotten to another. From another problem, you've gotten to another. From this one, then you're in another one. The problem becomes so stubborn. Have you ever thought about God approving for you a stubborn storm, a stubborn sickness, that it started from your leg, after the leg it came to the knees, after the knee it came to the waist, after the waist it came to the chest, after the chest it came to the head, then it went back to the toes? Every time, so stubborn, not even giving you a single space. But then we see from chapter 2 verses 1, that Satan went back, because after doing all this, Job woke up and said, I came on earth naked, I will go back naked. Then Satan said, this guy is joking. So he went back to God again and said, something is remaining. I have touched everything. He seems still to be worshiping. But you know one thing, God, if you touch people's things, they will still honor you because you've given them their life. Let me touch the skin a bit. God said, you go ahead, but don't touch the life. Go ahead and touch. Satan jump higher and said, now skin for skin, flesh for flesh. Let me go and touch him. Then he came and touched Job and touched Job from every corners of his body. And the man cried to the Lord. And until now, the wife came over and said, are you still holding on your faith? Until friends now came over and said, you guys, you must have seen. You're worthless. You are nothing now. You don't deserve anything. Do you know there will come a time in life where even your own shadow will start running away from you. Your own shadow starts fearing you. They start running away. They don't want to associate with you anymore because you are looking like a problem. When all the possessions was gone, things still look better. There was still hope. But when the sickness now came and touched Job from the body and he looked useless, I am telling you, that is when God started showing Job the foolishness that were surrounding him, the foolishness of his wife, the foolishness of friends. It is at such a time that you get to know the foolishness of your surrounding. That is the time the wife comes and says, this man must die so I get another man. That is the time the husband comes and says, this woman must die so I get another wife. That is the time your son will come and say, this man must die so I take up his possessions. That is why all the people who borrowed from you comes and say, he must die so that we can be safe. That is the time that all the foolishness that had surrounded you come. Praise the Lord. A stubborn storm, when it comes in your life, it follows you until it degrades you and brings you almost to nothing, until no one wants to associate with you anymore. That is the kind of storm that sometimes we go through, and then we start asking ourselves, is somebody working against us? Did my forefathers sin? What is happening in my life? I go through this, I see other people have no problem, but it is only mine, going through one after another. But then when I come back, I realize that while God was discussing with Satan, Job wasn't aware. Can you imagine? Job was not informed. He didn't know. All Job saw was his son starting to die, everything getting apart. You just wake up in the morning and you find things starting to happen in your life. And you can't tell the source. You've not done anything wrong. You've given your tithe very well, but you're keeping on getting losses and losses every other time. And you're like, what is happening? Be careful. Be careful. God could have discussed behind you. He could have discussed without you letting you know. Can you imagine such kind of thing? But then I see Job not coming against everyone. Job stayed within himself, and he never cursed God, he never cursed his wife, he never cursed any other person. But then when I come to Moses, a man that I also see that God approved on it for him a stubborn stone. When God sent Moses and said, go back to Egypt, I want my children delivered. Moses was so peaceful. Moses was so okay. But then he struggled with God. Finally he said, yes, let me go there. But when he went, the beginning of his problem was when he went to start executing the plan that God had told him, to start implementing what God had told him to do. When Moses went first time and he met with Pharaoh, the first thing Pharaoh did and said, you guys have started becoming lazy. I am going to increase your punishment. Now you're going to work without straws and get back to work. And the next time when the elders went back and said, sir, you're tormenting us, he told them, you're lazy people, you're idle. Go back and start working. And so every time Moses approached Pharaoh, a more and bigger problem was heaped on the children of Israel. Praise the Lord. Stubborn problem, stubborn storm, stubborn pain. It increases from one level to another. But the beauty is sometimes, and in all cases, God is aware, given by the Most High God. And so he just needed to swim in this, given to lead the Most High. But then his new appointment was the beginning of pain in his life. Sometimes, even our new appointment, you were very peaceful when you were still a girl. You were very peaceful when you were still a boy. The day you got married, you thought your problems were done. It seems to be increasing every other day. You were okay when you were still at that low level with your job, without promotion, a classroom teacher. The day you became the head teacher, that was the beginning of everything. Approving your promotion was like approving pain, mockery. And everyone mocked Moses. They came in Moses' life and said, you're useless, you're nothing, you can't deliver us. He went as a deliverer. But when Moses started working, he looked like a gambler. Can you imagine how life sometimes can mean to be? Praise the Lord. Have you ever been there and then you're doing business? Then it becomes that your business got opportunity and it increased, and then your problem came too much and you're like, I thought my problem was done. But sometimes the new appointment has come with new things. Sometimes back years ago when women and men used to fight in the villages, husband and wife, they used to fight in the village. That's how I see Moses' life. And then they are fighting. Then you, the man, you go that you're going now to help them separate. But you must be a strong man to separate them. Then you start separating them. I see some man, when they become so stubborn, then they start beating you who has gone to help them. Now when they start beating you, because you're strong, you hit him here. The wife will get down from there and start beating you up again. Who had gone actually to help them? But now not only that one. When the wife starts beating you, even the man will come and start beating you. So the two people will join up and start beating you up. Who told you we had any problem? You want to kill my husband? You want to separate us? And then you end up being like, but I thought I came to help. Even when a clan meeting in the village, it is you who was a problem. What do you do when you realize that at the end of the day, you have been trusted? God has trusted you with these stubborn problems. This problem that doesn't give up on you. You're on this one, you're on another one, you're on the next one. What do you do? I take us to James chapter 1. We should remember James chapter 1, verses 2 to 3. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various. That various is what I call stubborn. This one after another. When you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. There are two things here that are key. The Bible says various, not only one, various. It was not only malaria, but various sickness. And you know, it was not only one chorus, but various. It was not only one criticism, but many of them that came. And you know, it became abuse after another abuse. What do you do? Then the second one is said, knowing that the testing of your faith. I want to tell you one thing, that when storm comes in your life, the first target that storm is aiming at is actually your faith. The Bible says here that you should know that the testing of your faith, it is actually coming to destroy your faith. Sometimes it is not interested in your finances. Sometimes it is not interested in your good life. Sometimes it is not interested in anything. But it is keeping on coming and it is aiming at your faith. So I look at this one thing and I said, if you find yourself one day in a storm, in such a storm that comes after another, what do you need to do? Number one, you must develop stubborn faith. Praise the Lord. If you ever want to fight a stubborn storm, you must develop a stubborn faith. A stubborn faith is a faith that is relentless. It never gives up. It is always there. It comes one after the another. Praise the Lord. We actually got there and then we worked. So they gave us. Me, I got my 1 kilo. I came back at 2. I started working in the morning. At 2, I came back with my meat. Then I sat down and started working on my meat. And when I got very nice cassava to mingle, and I brought, you know, we didn't take lunch because we were going to have one big meal in the evening. And you know, it was only four of us home that night. So in the evening, when I was done with preparing, we had a very stubborn cat at home. So when I covered my thing, I went out a bit. I found when the pushcat had come and put the nose on my food, I got broken, but I said I will not give up on this food. But I got the pushcat, I beat the pushcat until it was dead, and I tied the rope. I took it in the nearby swamp and threw it there. I came back, I removed my meat, I took it back on fire, and I started boiling. And when I boiled, it was already 7. I put it there. I came back, I found the pushcat that I had chased with a rope, eating my food and eating it very well this time. I said, this pushcat is joking and it's not serious. This time I beat the pushcat until I was sure it is dead and completely dead. I got it with my rope, went and threw it there. Now I came back thinking, should we eat this thing? I said, I cannot give up on my meat. So I removed all the meat and refried my meat. At night, when we were set to eat, the same pushcat came back with a rope. The pushcat came back and found us inside the kitchen, ready to eat with the children, and looked at me like this. I tried to do this, the pushcat was like this. I said, this is not the pushcat. The owner of this meat must have sent the pushcat. So I picked the basin, covered the pushcat, I grabbed the children, we ran out, and I locked, and I got a long stick, and I removed the basin and locked the kitchen. I came back in the morning, found when it had eaten all the meat. Then I said, this pushcat wanted this meat, and finally took the meat. Can you imagine such a relentless faith? That you can look for something, they have beaten you to death, you have refused to give up, you say, I am going back. They beat you like I am going back. They beat you like I am going back. That is the kind of faith I therefore later refine and say, this is the kind of faith I want. I want the faith like the other Puskas faith, that you refuse to die as long as there is meat you've seen to eat. And it took my meat. Praise the Lord. Develop the relentless faith that nothing is going to shoot me. You can remove everything. You can take everything. You can fight my back. You can throw me out. But one thing you're not going to touch is my faith. I will keep my faith because that's my resources. Now, if you keep that faith, if you develop such faith that is relentless, that faith will remove your eyes from others. And that faith will keep you concentrating on yourself. And when you start concentrating yourself, you discover two important things in life. You discover the faithfulness of God, but you also discover your own ability. Praise the Lord. But if you are in the storm and then you start looking at people, I think it is him who brought this to me. I think it is she who brought this to me. You fix your eyes on your husband, and everywhere you go, now you're concentrating on the other person. Do you know what you're going to do? You will never discover how faithful God is. Everyone who went through the storm and came out of the storm, they survived because they were able to discover how faithful God is, but also they were able to discover their strength, their ability. Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 13. It tells us, no temptation has overtaken you, except such as is common to man. But God is faithful. Mark that word. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. Praise the Lord. Whenever you are in trouble, understand these two things, that my God is faithful, but also my God understands my ability. How do you discover your faithfulness? You need to discover how faithful God is. In John chapter 11, we see that Martha, Lazarus, and Mary were great friends to Jesus. But that time when Lazarus fell sick, the two sisters ran to Jesus while he was preaching and said, your friend Lazarus is sick, and come and see him. But then at that time, Jesus was still preaching, and Jesus seemed not to have given his attention to that. 2 days later, Jesus went and realized that Lazarus died. And when Lazarus died, they even buried him. But one thing that I love about these two sisters was that they kept on. When they heard that Jesus had come around and he was in town, my mother took on and ran to Jesus and asked Jesus, Jesus, if you were around, my brother would not have died. Can you imagine such a relentless faith? But I know now that you've come, something can still be done. She's still hopeful. I realize here one thing, that relentless faith will demonstrate your relationship with God. You know, you cannot demonstrate your relationship with God with only giving. You might be giving because you have it. You might be giving because you're happy. You must be giving because you want us to see you. You must be giving because something is nice around you. But one thing that will determine is that when you are in trouble, can your faith still move on? When your faith stands at the time when you're in trouble, that is when you determine, that is when you demonstrate your relationship with God himself. You cannot actually tell how much you love God when you're in peace, when you're enjoying, when you have everything good. But at such a time, when everything seems to be falling apart, that is when you come up and you say, God, I know I love you so much, and this is how much I love you. But then I brought this from these people. Jesus came after the burial. The burial had already taken place. And they even told him, 4 days ago we buried him. He's no more. And so Jesus came at such a time. Let me tell you, the faithfulness of God might not be seen at a time when things is still well. But when things go bad, when everything seems to have gone wrong, when even the divorce letter is signed, when even now they have declared that all your organs have failed, that is when you see the faithfulness of God. At such a time when everything had gone bad, you know, this guy was there and then he was buried long time, and Jesus has come at such a time when there was no hope again. arrives, there comes hope. Hope comes back. Praise the Lord. It has gone bad. The faithful one has not yet stepped in. You think your marriage has gone bad? You think your life has gone bad? You think in your office it has now gone bad because you have resigned, because everything is bad? Let me tell you one thing. The faithfulness of God goes even when things is now worse. That is when He comes. So I see Jesus coming here when everything had gone bad and they were not expecting anything. And so Jesus came and asked them, roll the stone away. They told Him, no, it has gone bad. But you know what? In their mind, the burial was public. People came, they witnessed. They cannot roll that stone. But Jesus is telling them, Mother, I have told you, roll the stone, because I have told you I want to glorify my Father. And they went to roll the stone that themselves had put. So they went to roll the stone by themselves. Who rolled the stone by themselves? And then they put the stone aside. And then Jesus called on Lazarus, and Lazarus came out. Praise the Lord. I know one thing in this people's story, that sometimes Jesus even will, after things have gone bad and He's showing His faithfulness, He asks you to roll the stone back, roll the stone out. But you're telling Him it was public. I resigned in writing. And still God comes and tells you, you resigned in writing, go back. I am not concerned about your signature. Get back to your work. You know, God, it was announced in church. I don't care about the announcement. What I am asking you is to go back. You know what? We divorced before the clan. God still comes and tells you, go back. Praise the Lord. That is how deep the faithfulness of God is. That even when something was made public and you think it cannot be reversed, He comes and says, yourself get on and roll it back. Now the people who rolls it back are such group of people who then understand that my faith, I will never give up on anything, because I have not given up. And He asked me to roll back, I will still go back and roll. But if you have a faith that is so limited, that is so short, you start only like this, then you've given up and they're telling you, go back. No, I don't want. I close that chapter. I close that marriage. I close the issue of children. I closed everything. They're telling you, go back and roll. No. Me, I don't go back. I don't go back. I don't go back. I'm a man of forward. Praise the Lord. Sometimes when you're in troubles, keep your faith standing. When your faith is strong and is standing, sometimes Jesus comes and asks you, roll back. Ask your neighbor and slap you. Not ask them, slap them, remind them, and say, go and roll back. Nothing has yet gone so bad. Discover your ability. In troubles, you must learn to discover your ability. You have a very unique ability that God has given you. But when you withdraw from others, then you start concentrating on yourself. That is when you know who you are. David withdrew from Saul, and so he took on and he went to be with himself. And when David stayed with himself, that is when he realized that he was a compassionate king. That even when Saul came to him, and Saul had exposed himself that David could just kill him, David said, I cannot kill him. That is the time that David understood how compassionate he was. And he would not only give it to Saul, he had given it to the whole land of Israel. You can never know your ability unless you get into such a time. Moses discovered he was equal to 70 men in Numbers chapter 11. In Numbers chapter 11, God asked Moses and said, Moses, come here. And so Moses went and said, I want you to gather for me the 7 elders in Israel that you trust. When you bring them here, the 7th man, I am going to pick the spirit in you. I am going to place in each of them. And so Moses brought the guys, and then he put them there. And so God picked the spirit from Moses and then planted in each of these. The Bible said all of them prophesied, although they never prophesied again for that day only. They all prophesied. You know what given me problems. You've given me troubles. Everywhere I go, I am meeting people. They are cursing me everywhere. And God now wanted to demonstrate to him and say, you do not know the ability in you. Only one in you is equal to 70 men. And these are the top 70 guys in Israel. Praise the Lord. Sometimes when you're in troubles, you do not know your size. Now, when God wants to show you your size, he must put you in a problem, and then your size will be revealed when you're in a problem. And so at this time, Moses all along didn't know that he was equal even to 70 men. Praise the Lord. And so he had kept himself. He walked like a man who is weak. He walked like a man who is terrified. Every time he's there, he's not strong, he's not courageous. And so God said, let me show this man who he is. And he revealed to himself that, you man, stop looking down yourself. You are as great as 70. So if you thought that the problems I make you go through, it is because I don't love you, I know you are able. Praise the Lord. I know you go through what you go through because you're able. When 10 women come to fight you, they are only fighting one Moses. There is still 69 Moses remaining. When the 100 comes to fight you, they are only fighting 2 Moses. There are still 68 Moses left. Praise the Lord. And so sometimes we see people going through certain things, and then we think that they are not. I am telling you, God has planted each one of us with unique ability. If you see me going through something, cry with me, but cry little. Cry little because I am able. For you, you cannot manage. There are some of you who say, is that your husband? Such a man. Why do you go for such a man? No, for you, you were not designed for such a man. She was designed for such a man. Only her can manage. There is a woman who impressed me. She impressed me like nothing. This woman was in a marriage. Very difficult marriage. While she was in this marriage, the husband mistreated her, drunk and did everything, would even bring other women to her bed and first chase her how to use those women and then bring her in later. That is how far it had gone. Then one day the man caught up and chased her away. Go back to your home. He even went to that girl's home and then took all his cattle back. And so he came. 2 years later, this girl also got another girl, a woman, a man, and got pregnant and delivered. 1 year later, she came back to me and said, she's not born again. Pastor Peter, I want advice from you. This man I produced with has a wife and children, but he wants to marry me badly. And he's telling me if he doesn't marry me, he will die. The other man, who was my husband, whom I have with 2 children, has also come back. He wants me back and he's crying, he's on his knees. He has even come back with his clan. Which of these 2 men can I tell? I looked at her in the eyes and I said, well, none of them is fit for you. But one day you will wake up and find one of them your husband. I cannot point to you. So you go and sit. But one day you will wake up and find that one of them is your husband. 3 months later, she came back and said, I went back to my former husband who married me, even took back those cattle. As I talk, the woman we met recently, she's looking beautiful, looking so healthy, looking so happy. She's even pregnant. Then I asked her, what is happening in your life? I am so happy. The man has reformed. I said, tell me how much he has reformed. You know what, Pastor Peter? The man used to bring women home. He no longer brings them. I think once in a while he gets some and uses them out, but no longer brings them. These were words from her. I said, what about drinking? No, he used to drink when he just come back, like on weekend from Friday. He would drink, go at 5. Then the following day at 1 o'clock. 1 p.m. The man who goes today in the evening at 5, then comes back tomorrow at 1. At home, when he's from the drinking joint. Nowadays, when he comes, he first eats something, he goes at 6, he comes back at 4 in the morning. He has never gone beyond 5. The man has changed. I said, well, are you telling me real things She said yes. I said, does he come back drunk? No. When they are drinking, when he has finished drinking, his friends pick him and push him in the car. For him, when he sits in the car, he can drive 20 miles. He doesn't care. When he reach home, we carry him and put him inside. Then he will sleep up to like 11. Then he stays home up to 5 again. Then he goes to drink. Then on Monday, he goes for his work. I then say, all this you're still happy. Say, the man has changed. Then I said, women of worship center must style up. For you, the husband comes back at night. My husband has a problem. He comes back at 9 p.m. Now he has even started coming back at 10. The other woman is happy he comes back at 5 in the morning. But she's not born again. I realize there are people that God has made, and there is ability unique in you to handle any situation. And don't we just give up in a situation. But when you find yourself in a situation, just know that you are able. Ask God and say, God, lead me there. A woman came to me and said, the man doesn't help me with work. The children, when he comes, he just looks at me. I cook, I bathe the children when he's just sitting. This one, when he comes back, the wife comes with the little daughter and carry the husband back. Then he goes to pour water on him so that he can bathe and put him on bed. She has double work. Bathe the children, prepare them, and wait for the husband, prepare the husband. For you have only children. You've started complaining. Praise the Lord. You are able to not give up anything. Praise the Lord. When you find yourself in a situation, just understand you are able. You can manage. You can walk. You can live. And you can come out of that. I tell you the truth. Stop comparing husbands. They are never the same. They are never the same. But God has given you what you can manage. Praise the Lord. God has given you a wife, a husband, a father, a child. You can manage. Let me tell you one thing. If I was your son, you'd have killed me when I was still young. But my father was able to carry on a very headache son like me until now. Praise the Lord. Why are you crying? Why are you so feeling so pity on other people's children? They can manage. Leave them to manage. And I don't give up on your son. The reason God has given you a stubborn son, a stubborn daughter, a stubborn relative, a stubborn uncle, He knows you can manage. Praise the Lord. And lastly, withdraw yourself. Not concentrate on the storm, but concentrate on your job. Concentrate on your job. When problem comes, when critics comes, they want to withdraw you from your job. And in most cases, we want to withdraw ourselves from work so that we can first face the situation. No. One reason you must withdraw yourself from fighting that situation is that you don't know how long it will take. Let me tell you, it took David 3 minutes to destroy Goliath. 3 minutes. When it came to Saul, it took years. The weapons he needed to destroy Goliath was not the same weapon he needed to fight David, to fight Saul. It was all different. Let me tell you something. Some problems you don't fight them. You just live longer than them. You just live longer than them. You cannot raise arms on certain things. But as you live longer than them, the only thing that helps you live longer than them is concentrate on your work. Don't concentrate on problems. Don't concentrate on problems. The problem has come to withdraw your attention from what God has given you to do. Keep doing your work. Turn your back and say, I have come to work. You know one thing I have realized, that sometimes I am a teacher, but I am not appointed to fight with my headmaster. I am appointed to teach. So whenever there is opportunity, whenever opportunity to fight comes, I run to class. That is what I am supposed to do. Praise the Lord. That is what you need to understand. That David understood that I am anointed to be the king of Israel.
concentrate on my work. Woman, sometimes when your husband has turned red, and you know he has turned red and is asking you, throw your things out. Look at him. Go back to the kitchen. Go back and help the children. Go back and do your work. Let him do his thing. For you, you are a wife. Do your work that wives do. Husband, sometimes when the woman is distracting you, concentrate on your work. Praise the Lord. There are certain things that comes, they want to withdraw us from work. But I tell you one thing, you do not know how long that fight is going to be. So if you sit there watching the fight, at the end of the day when the fight ceases, you will be nothing. Keep working. Even when things have gone bad, stand on your job and say, I must keep on working. Number two, because the battle is not yours. Keep on working. Leave the battle alone, because the battle is for the Lord. That battle is not yours. You are not for that battle. You are there to save. Jesus said, I have not come to condemn. I have come to save the sinners. So if you want me to condemn this woman, they have brought a woman to him. And when they brought the woman to him, they said, what do we do with this woman? We caught her in adultery. Jesus said one thing. If you have never seen, you destroy her. They did not know. They brought the woman to be condemned by Jesus, in whom there is no condemnation. Jesus said, I am not here to condemn. I am here to save. Praise the Lord. This day, the Lord teaches us this one thing, that we must understand that the fight will come. There will always be storm in your life. Sickness will come. People will fight. People will do whatever they want to do. Things will change. Sometimes you will lose your job. Sometimes poverty might strike in. But I want you to understand one thing. When stubborn problem comes, develop stubborn faith. Stay on it. Stay walking. Stay living. Once we conclude, there are times when storm becomes too heavy. And then you even stop believing. The doubt in your life becomes like a sea. And you're like, I am sinking in all this. If you see that the doubt in your life has created a sea that you're sinking in it, understand it is normal. Peter went through it, that as he was walking, he started sinking. Then he found his hope in the Lord Jesus Christ. I ask you that if you thought you were sinking, if you thought it is your time and now you're already sinking, I want you to understand that there is hope in Jesus Christ, who will not allow you to draw. He will keep you standing. He will keep you walking. Just keep declaring that your refuge in him, your freedom in him, your trust in him. When you keep declaring, you will find that every day you are moving. I want you to understand one thing, that do not abort your precious child. Jesus said, Father, remove this from me. But God knew and said in his heart that Jesus, you're just pregnant. I know the child you're going to produce. When a woman is in labor, you cannot just throw the woman away. You must keep the pregnancy until you deliver. Push your child. Praise the Lord. You are just pregnant. Something special will come out of you. I want you to walk out of this place knowing there is a child precious in this storm that I must release. You stand on your feet, even as we honor the Lord.